Hi, everybody. It's Debbie from Spooky Things. I hope everybody's doing good out there. Um, well, we're going to be talking about something tonight it's very commonly talked about. A lot of people talk about this, but it's interesting because there's so many myths about it. And, is it true? Is it not true? Remember, now we call this a think tank. This is just a think tank. We're just going to be giving you some ideas here. You notice my partner hasn't showed up yet because he's asleep on the couch and we can't get him up. So much for reliable help these days. Anyway, moving on. So there's been so much that have been said about this. And I know myself, I've heard things that have been just outlandish. And it's like, I don't think so. I'm game to listen to things that have a hint of possibility, bordering even on probability. Absolutely, absolutely. Even if I don't think something is probable, tell me, change my mind, see why, why how I could be changed. My mind could be changed. But there's a lot of things that I've also heard that are, I don't know. It sounds like it's possible to me. So we're going to go into it a little bit tonight. Of course, it's called Area 51. And now, last week when we were talking, it could have just been the internet went down. It could have been. But it was strange how it went down at a particular time of something that we were talking about that has been extremely debatable. So it'd be interesting to see if we go down tonight. I don't really think so because a lot of things that we're going to be talking about are things that are already out there. It's really nothing new, I don't think, that we're going to be going over, but heck, who knows? They're weird out there, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, so let's get into it. Area 51. Um, Now there's a real story behind Area 51. There's a lot of myths about it. It's gotten to be legendary what goes on. And it all kind of first started, it's in Nevada, and it's an Air Force facility, which also really kind of hit home with me because my dad was in the Air Force for a long time. He retired, and he did all kinds of things, and he was a radar specialist. So he went to a lot of places and worked on a lot of things, and he did special forces as well. A lot of things we never knew about. He wasn't allowed to say, and growing up, we knew better. You didn't ask. Don't ask, don't tell. And so, he'd give us that look if we'd ask him something. He'd go, it was like, oh, we got that. Okay, we're moving on. But so it's really, stuff like this really hits home with me. So anyway, it's in Nevada, and it's an Air Force facility. Um, all of these incidences have become of a incident that occurred in 1947. That's a long time ago. In 1947, there was a crash of what they're claiming was an alien craft. Now, this place is very unassuming. It's out in the middle of a Nevada desert. There's really nothing around it. There's like this road. It's just a dusty, like dirt road that leads up to it. There's no big fanfare. Nothing really states that this place is anything special at all. And they want it that way. And it works out good for them that way. It's got a lot of signs up saying no trespassing, of course, but it's just a basic fence going around it. It's just, it's not really, it's very unassuming. But people don't make a mistake of thinking that. They have that place under complete scrutiny 24/7. There's always something watching every inch of what goes on. And if you speak to anybody who's attempted to go out there, they'll let you know, oh, it was far, far from being easy to go up to the place. They're on top of you. They know you're there. Hey, Blaine, Blaine, I'm so happy to see you. Oh my goodness, how have you been? I'm so glad you made it here. Blaine, you can help me out with this because I know you know a lot about what's going on here too. Um, but it's very, very, very heavily secured. Um, there's from the hilltops that go around Area 51, there are lookout points everywhere. There are people in pickup trucks, cars, what be it, constantly searching the area and going around. They don't want you there for good reason. They don't want you there. Um, some people say that there's actually sensors that they have like in the ground or something. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think the way that they have it covered humanly possible is pretty good. Um, now they're saying this is their response to the crash that happened out at Area 51. They're saying that it was actually a Soviet aircraft operated by little people, mutated little people. Oh, come on. I mean, is this a dig at the Russians? Why are you picking on them? But that's what they're saying. They're saying that it was a Soviet aircraft piloted by mutated little people. We can do better than that. I really think so. And they're saying that the wreckage remains on the grounds of Area 51. And this is the same area, by the way, that people are saying that that's where they filmed um, the supposed moon landing is in Area 51 as well. And one of the buildings there. I don't know. I don't know. But this is what the truth behind it is. This area is totally real. This is a real place. This is a working station. They're still very actively working in Area 51. The government still has whatever they do there. But the interesting thing is that it is very, very, very secretive and very, very, very private. It's interesting. I got to be honest with you. I'm someone who has to wonder what the secrecy is about. To me, this is just me. I don't worry about what's right in your face. I don't worry about that so much. I worry about what's not going on, what's not being shown. Destiny says, I wonder what it is that they do in there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I honestly think that there's a lot going on there that maybe it has to do more about what's going on with the world today as what's going on. Because the more that they have people thinking that all this, reptilian space flying stuff going on at Area 51 is going on, people aren't really looking into what's really going on. That there's something really going on there that they don't want the American people or anybody to know what's going on. So the more that they have people baffled by this spacecraft stuff, hey, it could be happening. I don't know. I've never been to Area 51. But with everything that I've heard, my whole thought is maybe they're trying to get everybody so flustered into this myth that they're all worried about, and everybody's trying to figure out this myth of spacecraft and stuff going on. Nobody's really paying attention to what really is going on in there. And you're right, Destiny. I do wonder what is really going on in there. And I think it is definitely something of grave importance. Would I want to go in there and figure it out? No, it's not my business. But since it is so widely publicized, and I mean, and let's face it, they brought a lot of this on themselves by this self-importance of spacecraft. Oh, there's a spacecraft, all this kind of crap. Since they've already made it so secretive, it makes me wonder, what are they not telling us? What are they wanting us to think, which is this, to get our minds off of what the heck is really going on in there? And I kind of learned that from a kid on. You don't ever look at what's being thrown in your face. That's what they want you to see. What you really got to look at is a reason why. Why are they so set on getting people all stirred up about this stuff going on? It's because they don't want you to know about what's really going on. Think tank, my thoughts. Like to hear yours. Um, but let's get back to the aircraft. Destiny, they will shoot anyone that tries to go in. Oh, they will. They'll shoot your butt dead. They'll kill you 4 times if they have to. Because you are not getting in there. And that's another reason that there's something that's so heavily guarded and something so heavily um, important that's there, that they are willing to go to war, it seems like, with the American people themselves, to keep them to know what's going on in there. What is it? You know? And and the more that they do it, the more the people are going to be like, all right, well, so what is it? And it's going to continue. So the main thing that I have learned, the more you try to keep something quiet, the louder it's going to be. If you don't want something to be loud, shut up. Don't go out there and make this big hoo-ha about, I don't care what it is, as long as it pertains to this particular. Don't even try it. Don't try to make this big hoo-bob over everything. And sometimes you just got to let things just ride. You get, believe me, there's something gonna. People are very short-minded, for the most part. Now there's others that got minds like an elephant. They ain't gonna forget nothing. But for the majority of the people out there, you just let it ride. You don't continue it. You don't go off on other things, but you just kind of let it ride, and eventually something will happen that'll get everybody's attention, and they won't think about that anymore. And but to keep this stuff going really makes me think there's something going on in there. And if there's not something going on there, so maybe they got a lot of attention there, and that's not really where it's centered at. It's centered at someplace else. But as long as everybody's attention is on here, they're not thinking about what is over there. Because over there is that's a big deal. Everybody's all worried about this over here. We'll just keep this going. We don't want them to go over there. So we never want that to get out. So, hate to say it, but our government's a little the little weirdos, you know what I'm saying? They'll keep it away from everything. In the very beginning of Area 51, it was related to the development of the U-2 reconnaissance aircraft. Um, it was after World War II, the Soviet Union lowered the Iron Curtain around itself and the rest of the Eastern Bloc, creating a near intelligence blackout to the rest of the world. So when the Soviets backed North Korea's invasion of South Korea in 1950, it became increasingly clear that Kremlin would aggressively expand its influence. America worried about the USSR's technology, intentions, and ability to launch a surprise attack only a decade removed from the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. So basically, it really started off with reconnaissance missions going on. In the early 1950s, a U.S. Navy and a U.S. Air Force sent low-flying aircraft on reconnaissance missions over the USSR, but they were at constant risk of being shot down. Yeah, they're really unfriendly. In November of 1954, President Eisenhower approved the secret development of a high-altitude reconnaissance aircraft called the U-2 program. Now, that's really important when it comes to Area 51. One of the first orders of business was to track down a remote covert location for training and testing, and they found it in southern Nevada desert near the salt flats known as Groom Lake, which had once been a World War II aerial gunnery range for Army Air Corps pilots. Known by its map destination as Area 51, this middle-of-nowhere site became a new top-secret military base. There was a worker, Kelly Johnson, one of the leading engineers of the U-2 project, gave it a more enticing name, which was Paradise Ranch. So it goes into, this is where a lot of the speculation came from, is during this period of time here. U-2 testing began in July of 1955, and immediately reports came flooding in about unidentified flying object sightings. Okay, if you read the details in a 1992 CIA report that was declassified with redactions in 1998 and subsequently released nearly in full in 2013, it's easy to see why. This is where it gets heavy. Many of the sightings were observed by commercial airline pilots who had never seen an aircraft fly at such altitudes as the U-2, whereas today's airliners can soar as high as 45,000 feet. In the mid-1950s, airlines flew at altitudes between 10,000 and 20,000 feet. So known military aircraft could get to 40,000 feet, and some believe manned flight couldn't go any higher than that. The U-2 flying at altitudes in excess of 60,000 feet would have looked completely alien. So the Air Force officials knew that the majority of these unexplained sightings were U-2 tests, but they were not allowed to reveal these details to the public. So that's where the natural phenomenon or a high altitude weather research became the go-to explanations for UFO sightings, including in 1960 when Gary Powers' U-2 was shot down over Russia. That sucked. What's also interesting is that about most of the recent, the 2013 report is that it confirms Area 51's existence. Everybody knows it's there, and they had no choice at that point. This highly secretive base doing all this testing. Now they got to come out and say, okay, yeah, it. Well, no kidding. Everybody kind of knew that, but they did. They finally came out and they said, yes, it does exist. While the 1998 version does have significant redactions when referencing the name and location of the U2 testing site, the nearly unredacted version from the 2013 reveals much more, including the multiple references to Area 51, Groom Lake, and even a map of the area. So it goes into, all the different aircrafts that have come out, the Bird of Prey, the F-11-7A, the Tactic Blue. All of these were tested over the Nevada efforts, the Nevada desert. The A-2 stealth aircraft. More declassified documents reveal every Area 51's role in Project Have Donut. It's about a 1970s attempt to study covertly obtained Soviet MiGs. They flew over Area 51 and pitted our own fighters against them to develop tactics. They learned that you can't outturn it, but you can outrun it. And it's still going on today. So now, instead of seeing the MiG-17s and 21s, there's the MiG-29s and the Su-27s. The flights are continuing. They still do the testing. They still do all of that. However, in September of 2017, an Air Force lieutenant colonel was killed under mysterious circumstances when his plane crashed in Nevada, and the Pentagon would not immediately identify the aircraft. It seems like he was most likely flying a foreign jet obtained by the United States. But the alien conspiracies gained ground. Now, this is when it all really started to blow up. It was in 1989 when Bob Lazar claimed in an interview on Las Vegas local news that he had seen aliens and had helped to reverse engineer alien spacecraft while working on the base. A lot of people disregarded it as pure fiction, and they're even offended at the notion, including Merlin, who had spent years talking with former Area 51 engineers and employees angered by all the fuss over ET. Glad you could make it.
I woke up and Stephanie said you were already in here, and I now realize that if you take 2 of those little white circular pills, not 1, 2 of them, exactly 2 of them, you will immediately go to sleep.
He realized that medication will put you to sleep.
That stuff's not supposed. Well, I mean, it's supposed to do it, I guess, but it's not supposed to do it like that. It put me down. There was nothing I could do.
Vera. Yay, UFOs.
So what are you talking about in here? I heard Bob Lazar.
Yeah, Area 51.
Ooh. Talking about, what are you talking about? Just the area itself?
As he walks away. Let's see. He has interrupted.
Sorry, I needed a soda.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because you are like the pro on this subject. Well, in any case, Area 51 is still very much in use. And
it's actually like I classify Area 51 as like the Vatican, if you would, of the where they keep craft and stuff like that. It's the most notoriously known one, so they let it be known. You know what I mean? Like, it's been going on for so long, everybody knows about it. So they're like, it's one of those ones where they're like, everybody knows, but nobody knows. But they just let it be. But there's all kinds of other ones. Like I said, like in the last one we were talking about, they were in the mountains.
Right.
They're in the sea.
Right.
They have the ones that they really don't want you to know about are the ones that are hidden around.
Can you guys hear him okay?
But I got to get a chair or something.
He's got to get his chair.
I don't know what to sit on.
Well, I try your butt.
I'm underprepared for this. Will you stop destroying everything?
So you guys are now witnessing what my household is really like. It's crazy here. I wouldn't have it any other way. Um, so this goes. It's interesting because there's a lot of very, very, very important things that have occurred there, and things that I would say that would be recognized, for what they've done. But even that is frowned upon. It says while the lore around Area 51 may be nothing more than imaginative fiction, they won't stop people from gawking just below.
Hmm?
Are you done?
No, I just sat down to begin. I'm so happy I was able to do something on Summoner's War today. Wait, are we allowed to say game names?
Well, you did, so it doesn't matter.
You're welcome, Summoner's War. I better get a free LD for that. I just name dropped on this app thing that whatever I'm doing right now, I better get something for free. You have the Lord of the Rings collaboration coming up on the 29th, and I've been saving scrolls. So, Summoner's War, that's the third time I've mentioned you guys. Hook me up. Now, Dark Matter. You want to talk about Dark Matter?
Why not?
Dark Matter.
I felt that rumble under my feet.
But what? That little burp?
Yeah.
You shouldn't talk about people like that, Mom. Dark Matter is really cool. That's when I wanted to talk about the last program, but we really didn't have a whole lot of time. But
all right, we'll talk about dark matter, but let's.
Oh yeah, you were with the Area 51. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so, in any case, there is I'm just getting into the alien issue of it and how, excuse me, how they're saying that a lot of this is excuse me, I'm allergic to you.
I have that effect on people. I come in burping, everybody starts burping.
But anyway, we're talking about what's real, what's not real about Area 51. And honestly, I don't think there's an answer. I really don't.
You're going to get the same answer almost any person in the military would give you. They're going to look at you and wait for you to answer your own question.
Well, I did that already. So,
well, that tends to be the common response of people in the know. For instance, like Grandpa.
Mm-hmm. What about Grandpa?
I remember those first few times when I was younger,
mm-hmm.
and I'd talk to him about things, and then he would never come right out and say it. Even after all those years in service, even after all that time, he would look right at. I mean, he knows. He straight up knew. He could come right out and tell you whatever he wanted to. I mean, he was trained in the Air Force. I thought that was a cat. I was like, I'm so sorry, this cat. He would have been in the Air Force at that time when those manuals were given out. I think it was in the 50s, 1954. There's a particular Air Force manual that was given in the 50s, and it straight up says that they would encounter that in the sky and what they were, mm-hmm. and the different categories of them, and which ones were hostile, which ones weren't. So they were trained on this back then. So he would totally know, but he never came right out. And I'm gonna say it whether he did or didn't. He never came right out to endanger us or anybody else.
That was
his
never
came out.
Yeah,
and said anything.
That was his main concern, was the safety of the family. That obviously safety for the country as well. But man, he was a true blue soldier, and he was a true blue American.
He'd look at you with a straight face as you were. I mean, you could know everything. He would look at you with a straight face like you knew nothing.
How about, I was just telling them that, whenever, when we were kids, when we started asking him about it, do you remember this look? We'd be asking him, he'd be looking away, and he'd go,
Hmm.
like, that's enough now.
Hmm.
We're not going to go any further.
No.
And we knew. We're out.
One of the very first times I had met him, we sat there talking about that stuff. And
Have you ever looked at Area 51 on maps? Yes, Vera, I have. It's huge. It's big. It's not just a little
actually,
radar.
in my eyes, it's small
Is it?
compared to some of the other ones. Yeah, Area 51's kind of tiny.
What Air Force secrets can you spill? I'm not spilling nothing.
Girl,
What?
I'm gonna tell you right now, Kitty, if anything's getting spilt in this house, it ain't finna be secrets.
No. I don't want the Men in Black showing up at my house.
Yeah, why would we go doing that? The last time we were on here, they shut us down. I ain't doing that no more. And there was, yes, Vera, there was a helicopter in the sky, but not that night, the following night.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was funny. I tried to go out there and record it, but my phone's like, really? You're going to record something in the dark? I ain't got one of those kind of phones, Vera.
Yeah.
But yes, there was helicopters.
And no, we don't raise pot plants on our property.
No. And allegedly. Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah. So, well, I was just telling them that my concern on it was that I'm not so much interested in what the myths are about Area 51, because I don't really think Area 51, it's been so broadcast, and so, there's other places that they don't want you to know about. But as long as everybody's focused on Area 51, they're not worried about the other places.
Mm-hmm.
And my concern is more about what's not being said versus what's circulating.
There was I wanted to pull this up for Vera.
Yeah, because she had some good questions last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she wants I wanted to give her a good one to look into. That wasn't Area 51. I wanted to give her a good one. Like a little rabbit hole, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
That she won't get in trouble looking into.
Vera's very curious. But there are so many subjects stemming around a lot of what goes on here.
This one. This one's pretty. This is a good one for her to look into. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base.
that
Otherwise
place is
often referred to as Hangar 18. That's a good one. That's a good one to look into.
I do know that Dad was there a lot.
Almost anything involving crash retrievals ends up there.
Yeah.
Almost any and every time they end up there. Something about that base there. Then there's the
that base is big too.
Area 52, but that's the test range. The one in New Mexico, if I can pull that up.
That's the one that we were just talking about.
Rumored to be a 7-story underground facility near Archuleta. I can't. I'm gonna butcher the hell out of this name when I say it.
For it.
And Archuleta Mesa, or Archuleta Mesa. I hate butchering words, because then somebody who knows how to say it's gonna be like, I can't believe you just butchered my.
Close to Area 51 over the mountain range is a suspicious area. Honey, there's suspicious areas all over that place. But it's true. When you're talking about a suspicious area, a lot of what goes on there, it's like Devin was just saying, a lot of those bases, they're not above ground. They're down below.
And I would love, to go to suspicious places and visit them. I'd love to go to tons of suspicious places and visit them. If I had the money to do it, I would do it. The thing is that in order to be willing to want to go explore these suspicious areas, you'd have to be willing to become a cold case file. And that's just not something I'm willing to do. I love the cold, but I'm just not willing to do all that. But I would love to go exploring those places.
A cold case file.
You know what happens if you mess around those? You can't go. First off,
Yeah, what?
you saw the thing when the people wanted to raid Area 51. How'd that work out?
Not very good.
And they had a good Kickstarter for that, buddy. They had that going for a while, and
Yeah.
that did not go far at all. We're
Well,
going
it's
to
not a
storm
good
Area
plan.
51. No, Area 51 is going to storm you. That's not the way it works.
Yeah.
Boy, them silly little pink-haired people found out that day. There's a whole lot of.
Pink-haired people.
You ain't see all the color hair people that were there? Oh, I'm sorry. You can't refer. I can't refer to no one as nothing anymore without somebody being like, I cannot believe you just called that person a green-haired person. Do you know why they have green hair? They like the fucking color green? I don't. Oh, my bad. Well, when you have me on, that might randomly
It
happen.
might have been late, but I want it known that I beeped. Beep. I beeped him. Stop that.
Well, my next phrase would have been like,
Oh my God.
because they're going gray. I mean, if I'm going gray, I like the salt and pepper look. That's just me. That's a sign of aging. It's a sign of wisdom. It's a sign of I've been here long enough that I don't want to put up with the crap.
No, it's not. I got gray hair, and I can tell you how I got it. And I'm looking at it.
And my favorite color is purple, but I ain't about to turn my hair purple. So you got, ooh, this one's a good one too.
Oh.
I put a bunch of them on my phone. San Luis Valley in Colorado is known as a hot spot for UAP sightings and unusual animal deaths.
Yes.
Those are always weird when
Yes.
you start finding mutilated cows and mutilated animals with such precision. You're like, okay, either, Edward Scissorhand was out here and took out 4 cows,
Yeah, I find it really sick.
or something else took out my 4 cows.
I find it really sick. But I'm an animal lover, so it's like.
In underwater bases, Congressman Tim Burchett and other researchers have claimed 5 to 6 underwater sites exist, particularly near the Catalina Islands, Sycamore.
Look, they now allow visitation at the Roswell crash site. Next visit out there, I'm going. It's interesting, because there's nothing there.
It's a whole lot of dirt and rocks. That's exactly what you're going to find. Maybe some interesting lizards that run on their feet.
What else are they going to run on?
Well, I mean, they run like this. You ain't never seen a lizard run like this? Like this. Yeah, Mom. I don't know what kind of lizard it is. I just know they run like this. I'm about to get up. I come in here to sit. I woke up and everything to come in here. She's like, Mom's mad at you. What'd I do? You were asleep. It's not like I wanted to go to sleep. So I came in here.
I'm just picturing just all these little lizards
that run like this. I've seen them, Mom.
I'm sure you have.
I just don't know if they're out there. I'm pretty sure about all you're going to find out there.
That's funny.
But I mean, if there was anything left out there, that site had been picked and prodded so many times. You're never going to find anything out there.
And they were saying that
if they were jerks, they might leave a little bit of aluminum foil out there.
They were saying that it was
He's so pissed.
It was a Soviet aircraft operated. That's what crashed. The aircraft was not alien. They're saying that it was a Soviet aircraft piloted by mutant aliens.
I believe that when the shit turns purple and smells like rainbow sherbet.
And there you have it.
I don't believe any of that. Now, it could be a Russian craft that crashed. That's believable, and they wouldn't want everybody to know that, hey, Russia just crashed a huge drone.
Vera says, I'm not eager to meet the chupacabra. Now, those I believe in a lot more.
I don't know.
Other crap that they're coming up with. Take a metal detector. They've done that. They have picked that area so clean that people have gone with metal detectors and have found nothing.
You might find a bottle of Windex, how clean it is out there. Used bottle of Windex.
Yeah,
That's about all you're gonna find. Maybe some plastic, microplastics. You
it's
might.
true.
I don't even think you'll find an Arrowhead out there.
It's true.
That shit has been so
They have
frauded.
picked that so clean that, and that's why they're allowing people to go out there because the gig's up. But now
They're
that does not
the
say,
gig in general. It's funny to even think about. You know, oh, we're gonna let you come out here and we're gonna let tourists come out here now. It's like, in a way, it's kind of a slap across the face because
yeah,
you know you weren't even allowed to think of that place without someone showing at your front door,
right.
going, "Hey, you talking about this?"
And again, it's not what's been said, it's what hasn't been said. Now, getting down to it, Vera, do I think that they're talking about, you know, extraterrestrials and yeah, I do believe in that. I think you'd be foolish not to. Yeah, come on. But and maybe there's been some incidences that have occurred there. That's not the ones that are the really the most active ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, uh, the ones that are the most active ones are the ones we know nothing about, and those are the ones that I feel that those are the ones in the water.
Those are good ones. This is the reason why we don't explore our oceans.
Yeah, I mean,
They say, well, we only know 5% of it. Oh,
yeah,
gee, I wonder why. You know what I mean?
but they know a lot about it
Oh, there's. I'm just saying. You see a lot of those craft going underwater all the time,
all the
all
time.
the time, and they're not met by any resistance either when they go under. None, zero. They're not met with any resistance whatsoever. As a matter of fact, they're traveling at the same rate of speed that they were in the sky. When they hit the water, they're traveling at the same damn rate.
But see, I don't understand that. How can they be going that fast to not hit anything in the
They're
water
in
like
their own environment.
whales or
They're in their own damn environment. It's a bubble that goes around the entire craft. It's completely protected by its own gravity. Bob Lazar literally said it that they're machines that they generate their own gravitation. They create their own gravity. Now, what surprises me would be if one of those craft were powered up near you and you had a compass near you, what would happen? Would that craft have anything to do with, would it affect the compass in any way, shape, or form? Would it? Well, then again, probably not. If it's in
probably
its own
not.
bubble,
Yeah,
nothing
nothing
from
would
the
get out of
outside
it.
would. Yeah, no.
The Roswell Museum is somewhat informative. Got to read between the lines. Exactly, exactly, and which is you basically said exactly my point. Um,
They're gonna put it in your face.
yeah, but
They're literally gonna put the truth right there in front of your face
but I
while
do
dumbing it
think
down.
that there's so much information out there that has been attained through these contacts. And
Do you know how they do the stuff with the getting information on the Vatican that you need you need four things to access the Vatican archives down there. Four very important things. And the four, you need a blessing from the Pope. Um, you need a very strong reason to be there. You have to know that the item you're looking for exists there because you've been told it exists there, and the source that told you knows that it exists there. And when you go to look at that item, you're only allowed to look at it one time only. That's it. You really have to have a damn good reason to come back to look at something again. And I'm talking about real good. But they'll allow you to look at it one time. You're allowed a set amount of time with that item, and there'll be somebody watching you the entire time so that you don't learn too much about that item. I thought that was really, 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 really cool to hear about. And I was like, yo, that's incredible.
I got to be honest with you. The Vatican is really nothing more than Europeans' example of Area 51.
They're gatekeepers. They're
Yeah, to
literally,
me.
that's all they are. They're gatekeepers. I believe that they're in possession of great items that were from
Absolutely.
civilizations way before us. They're in possession of what I believe that's what they're in possession of. That's remnant of what was here before, and it's probably absolutely insane what they have. Things to us that we would think is magic. It's the soda, man. It goes down there and coagulates with all my stomach
It
acids.
coagulates.
I can't do anything about the coagulation. But the archives down there, I can only imagine the absolute mind-boggling things that they have. And that's, and you think of the
Absolutely.
archives and you think it's small. This is no small place. This goes, it's huge.
My opinion, my opinion, the Vatican holds more cataclysmic information than Area 51 ever could.
Could be where they moved the Library of Alexandria, or you know, whatever was left of it. But the Vatican is like this. It's like the labyrinth in Egypt.
Yeah,
In that kind of, it is kind of like it in a
mm-hmm.
way. It's like this buried labyrinth,
It's
like
true.
it's not accessible like Alexandria was, like the Library of Alexandria, but it's exclusive. It's held underground like the labyrinth in Egypt is.
Yes, it is. It's all underground.
Yeah, I don't. It's kind of weird.
It is.
Well, I'm not going to say weird. It's not weird. There's a reason. There's reasons behind
Yeah,
all of that.
but I honestly do believe that. I think that there is information at the Vatican that would make your head spin. And
The Chronovisor. I'd love to check that thing out. That one that was built by the godfather of rocketing, and Nikola Tesla himself. It was Tesla and like 3 or 4 other scientists that put this thing together, and it was able to basically read radiation. Like I told you, the machine that basically could read radiant energy.
mm-hmm.
It could detect it, because it leaves behind, even the human body when you pass away leaves behind a very strong amount of
Right,
energy,
that's true.
and it can be detected.
Mm-hmm.
And um, any kind of a residual energy like that, a strong residual energy, for some reason it leaves a mark, like almost like a stain. And that's it's like nuclear energy. If something exploded nuclear wise or whatever, it would last super long time in the atmosphere, and yeah, it's fallout. In a way, it's kind of similar to with certain let's say a war
Mm-hmm.
killed a lot of people. Think about how many human bodies passing away, all the energy that's there. You know, if it was that chaotic, I am pretty sure it would leave behind a strong enough
Oh yeah.
that you could pick that up a long
Oh yeah.
time later. So that's this machine that they created basically did that. And you're able to go, you were able to travel in time with it, and they were able to see past events and all kinds of things that have happened before.
Well, in a way, what you're talking about is the way when people go out to like the graveyards and the battlegrounds and stuff like that. What you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
is what people are picking up today, what they consider like the spirits.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what they're doing. And they leave a mark for many, 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 many years. Really, they a lot of time they probably don't go away. And a lot of these things that people pick up, like the soldiers, the soldiers, and the rebel soldiers, and all this kind of stuff, the Civil War soldiers, it is the remnants of the energy that they have left behind.
Mm-hmm.
This is basically it, especially in time of trauma. You know, you're gonna pick those things up, and we find those in homes.
Mm-hmm.
We find those in businesses, because a lot of times those homes and businesses weren't there at the time. It was woods or a field, and something happened. But it's the energy is still there,
It's still there.
irregardless. The energy is still
Energy
there.
has to go somewhere.
Right.
So yeah, I've always been fascinated with that. You know, trying to find a scientific explanation for why this is.
Mm-hmm.
You know me. I look for logical
Yeah,
standpoints
you
on
do.
things. Are
You
like
do.
ghost, and it's like, well, could it be, or could it be this?
Right.
You know,
It
and
could be a number of things.
that's where I start. That's where we were having that discussion about, you know, trying to go after certain entities that, you know, obviously a Bible's not affecting, and you're like, well, it's because this thing doesn't play by those rules, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, this isn't something that religion is going to touch. This is something
Right.
that travels through dimension, or something that travels through here, travels through here.
That's true.
Religion doesn't touch this thing. It
No.
has this. It doesn't play by those rules.
Right.
So what do you combat then? And you don't even know what you're combating. You can't see it. It's attacking you from the shadows.
And it's extraordinarily dangerous because it's got the complete
It's playing on
edge
its
on
field, and
you.
its field affects yours, but your field don't affect it.
It has no effect on it whatsoever.
That, or you have no idea how to affect it. This could be an ancient creature that our ancestors dealt with, and they know how to combat it, but you don't.
Right.
You're not prepared for that,
Right.
like they were, where they knew about this, and your blind ass don't know about none of this. You've never been told about it. You've been, oh, that stuff's fake, or that's not real. Oh, you're crazy to think. Oh, you're just going nuts. The house is fine.
Right. And that's what's the scary stuff. That's the big boo factor in that. I mean,
Yeah, because the next thing you know, you're telling your story with a straight jacket, and no one believes you.
nobody believes you.
I'm like, I'm so tired of coming here to visit him. It's the same thing every. After a while,
It just gets old.
I don't think I'm gonna fill the canteen anymore. Like, I'm tired of coming here. Don't answer the calls anymore. Just don't press. Just don't press one. Stop pressing one. Press zero. But yeah, but that's true. I feel for those people that they swear to God that they're going through something and no one believes them.
Mhm.
You know, or even the ones that think about it when they could actually scratch you and leave behind marks on your body.
Yeah.
You know, that's physically being attacked by something in a realm that can affect yours, but you can't affect it.
Mm-hmm.
It don't play by your rules. So how do you combat that?
Is this real?
I don't know, man. I mean, it depends. If you want to find out, I'd say there's plenty of places you can try something called peyote, and you can sit down with a couple of people, and maybe in like Mexico.
Peyote, please. Residual energy is something we have no control over. It can be powerful. I can tell you some stories. Yeah,
Bet you
Vera
could.
could.
Bet you could.
Residual energy is very real. Um, and a lot of us have encountered. I know Vera has encountered quite a bit of it, and a lot of times you encounter it, and you're not even aware that you've made a connection, and you're not even aware of it. And people do that every day,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not aware of it. And now because I'm more aware of it, I drive down the street and I see it. Like, you know how you drive by something and you see it out of the corner of your eye, and you're like
No, did I
looking
just see
back.
that?
It's like, damn, that was so obvious. How come nobody else saw that? Why am I the only one that saw that? But it's there. It is. It is. It's there.
That guy asked me for about, is this real? I mean, if he's wondering about reality one, I can tell you there's this new test that they're doing involving DMT and lasers. I don't know if you saw that one where they take a shot of they take a hit of DMT, and then it's a group of people, and after like a couple of minutes or whatever, they tell you what you're going to experience before, and then when you take it, they have you look up at a laser, and they have you focus on it, and this laser sitting there, and people say that they start reading, they all of a sudden they literally start seeing code.
Yes.
Like the Matrix, and
Yes.
This one
Yes.
particular scientist said once you see it, you can't turn that off.
You can't turn
It's
it away.
permanent.
That's scary.
He literally said that once you see that, that is
scary.
permanent. That never go. You permanently will forever understand that as this. And then they're not the only ones that are. There's almost every single
Yes.
person in that room experiences the same thing when they do that. When they do the DMT, and there's a group of people that do it, they all go to the same place. They all talk to the same kind of creature or same creature. They either see similar creatures, see the same ones, or communicate with the same exact one.
Would you want to do that?
Hell no.
No,
I don't
me
mess with
either.
stuff like that.
No.
And I'm not trying to say it as in like I'm like, oh, shame on you for doing it.
No,
I'm
not at all.
scared of not being able to have control.
Right.
I couldn't start seeing things like the one time I did the funny mushrooms or whatever. That was an experience. I mean, I laughed at stuff.
That's drug induced.
Yeah, but something like as powerful as like strong acids or peyote that I was just joking about, or whatever. Like, no, I mean, I would never do anything that high. Like, it's just, I think that's beyond me, and I would probably have like a bad experience or something. I wouldn't want to be going through that and not be able to pull myself out of it or whatever. But I mean, me not having control over what I'm seeing going on, and I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, what bothers me is that the people that are conducting these tests actually don't even know exactly what it is that they're doing either.
In a way, yes, but in a way, no. They're literally. I'm going to tell you flat out. That dude will sit. He sit. I think it's a group of 15 people he takes at a time. No more than that. It's a set number, and he tells every single person in that room what they're about to do, what they're about to experience, how powerful the drug is, and most of them have already done it before.
Mm-mm.
Some of them
No.
haven't. Some of them haven't, but most of them have already experienced DMT. So for the most part, they're going in, they're going, well, I know it to experience from the drug itself, but I don't know what I'm about to experience with the lasers. Like from what everyone that said on that test, I mean, it literally just it blows their mind to see the code, because that code right there tells them flat out, we're in a freaking computer, like we're in a simulation, like. And I've always kind of felt that way looking at
Yeah.
space and how they say that um, you can literally define the universe by using zeros and ones,
Hmm.
math being the universal language.
Right. I don't know. I don't like to. I don't want to be a part of something that I don't understand. I just that's out of my safety zone. That's out of my box. You know. Now, it's one thing to go into something to investigate it or to research it, or you're learning.
Mm.
This is you're learning about it. But it's something altogether to be thrown into a situation that you don't have any idea what's going on or how it's going to affect you now or in the future or whatever, what it's going to do to you physically, emotionally, mentally. No, sir. No,
Mhm.
not me. Yeesh.
It's not for everybody.
No. But um yeah, it's actually we there are so many subjects, I mean, just surrounding what we're talking about.
Hmm.
So many. And we're just, I mean, this is the tip of the needle, just the very tip of the needle on everything that's going on in this particular subject. We're talking all the way back to the Anunnaki. Um, this Yes, it would be like a nightmare you can't wake up from.
Mm.
Because it's like Devin was saying, once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's there. Whatever you do, wherever you go, you're always going to be able to see it there. Always, for the rest of your existence. No, I no.
I mean, it's trippy to think about that it's there,
Yeah.
regardless of your existence or not, it's there. And that trips me out too. That there's
Well, yeah.
because it makes me wonder, are we supposed to know about it? Is it supposed to be a part of us? Is this something that was a part of us that we've lost sight of? Like all these things, I don't know. You know.
Now we are going to. I still want to get into a discussion about the Anunnaki.
Hmm.
Did you see that I sent over to you? One of the messages I sent over to you. You didn't read it. Um, but when you get a chance, check into that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's really informative, and it really goes into a lot of things too. And I personally found it to be really, really interesting.
I've seen so many of those things on them, hour-long documentaries on
Right.
these things, and hours upon hours upon hours upon hours. You just sit there and time flies by as you're watching them.
And the thing about it is, most people don't know about the Anunnaki
Actually, I think
and the
it's starting to
Nephilim.
become quite widely known now. Ever since Zechariah Stitchen brought it out to his work out to light. But
And a lot of people don't want to know about them because they're set. This is the way we were taught. This is the way that it happened. This is, but
everything about Sumerian time is interesting because some of it goes against their religion and whatnot. But
Exactly.
then again, some of their religion is derived from it.
Exactly. And people don't want to admit that they're one and the same, and they are.
Well, the Bible, in my eyes, at times is a great historical account of things,
Yes.
and sometimes you got to go beyond what you're reading a little bit and start looking at the history that is telling you
Hmm.
these very important sites and what was there, um, and then they go to those sites and some aren't there anymore at all,
Right.
completely eradicated. But then what's left, they find and they start piecing things together. And I've always been fascinated by that when the Bible will tell you these really special sites and these what occurred there, and then scientists and archaeologists will get over there and find these sites and go, not only did we discover this site, but this is what we discovered at the site. And it's like it just blows my mind, something so old.
Well, we're gonna have to be signing off here, but before we go,
Mm.
just a little bit of information here. This will make your head really start thinking about things. They have now discovered that King Tut's mask, the
Mm.
big one, weighs 22 pounds of gold, big one. They've discovered that is not King Tut's mask at all.
Mm.
It was stolen from a woman. Let that sink in for a little bit.
Well, the Egyptians were famous for that.
Yeah, they were.
They were famous for they offered literally afterlife packages for some people, and you could literally have your all of that pre-made for you and things like that.
Mhm.
You can have all of that pre-done, and before your passing, even you could have all of that set and arranged. And what would ended up happening for some of them is that uh, they didn't pass, and another member of their family would pass, so they would just end up giving their
Giving them everything.
their funerary
Yeah.
site to that person instead. And then they even went as far as reusing certain sites. So if you weren't able to be buried here or whatever, they would actually set you all up, and then they'd make people think, oh yeah, it was set up here, and then they ended up stacking your sarcophagus here and reusing certain sites. So that's where you have it confuses some of them, where they go and they find all these coffins and sarcophagi, and they start opening up, and they're like, why is this person here? Like,
Right.
what that and that's
Right.
they were reusing certain.
But evidently, King Tut's mask, that big mask, that was actually snatched, stolen, and it was never meant for him at all. It was made for a woman.
They ever say who? Couldn't have been maybe his mother.
No,
It wasn't her.
no, it wasn't in the family at all. From what I could gather from it, it was from no, had nothing to do with him at all. He just thought it was purty. They're,
Well, I mean,
they're,
his death was sudden,
yes, it was. It
So-
was quite sudden.
and apparently his embalming was rushed too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that circle around his death that
Yes.
has been stupid controversial.
Yes.
I don't
And
think
they're saying that he didn't just die, that he was murdered.
that. Well, yeah, he was horribly inbred too. I mean,
Well, horribly inbred, yeah. But
he was suffering. I mean, apparently he suffered since he was a baby. Apparently,
oh, he did.
so
Well, was he only like
he had clubfoot. Mm.
he was in his early 20s when he passed, wasn't he?
I don't think he was. No, I think he was like
18 or 19.
18 or 19. I don't think he made it to 20.
Yeah, he was just a boy. But
Inheriting something like that. I mean,
apparently they looked they did radiographs of it, and inside the mask itself, it actually states who it belonged to. Mm-hmm.
hmm.
And evidently they didn't know, but it actually has the ownership of it inside the mask itself, because when they took an x-ray of it, they were able to.
Yeah, they probably figured no one's ever going to open this place up,
But they did.
but someone did.
And
Well, we're talking thousands of years later, but
Oh
still.
yeah, and I've seen the mask myself. I've been this close to it,
Hmm. When we
and
went to the
it was
King
up
Tut
in Fort
exhibit,
Lauderdale,
hmm, at the
and your dad
science.
took us up to the King Tut exhibit. That was fascinating,
Yeah, it was.
and they had the mask right there, the actual mask. They had it. And I just kept telling the boys, "Oh my God, this is the thing that you see in the books. This is it. This is the real thing."
That was definitely the real thing because
Yeah,
it was
oh,
sent
it was
over from
amazing.
Cairo. Those were
And
definitely the real artifacts because sometimes they don't put the real ones out, but these were definitely the
these
real
were the
ones
real
from
ones.
Cairo.
And oh my God, it was
I think
amazing.
it was the last tour they ever did with it.
It was one of
I
them.
think that was
They
the
don't
last
do it
tour. No,
anymore
they do
for.
not.
They don't do it anymore.
No, they do not.
So, but yeah, I mean, I couldn't get over it. It was like, oh my God, I just,
The fact that you're standing so close to
I
something
know,
like that, so
I
old,
know.
and the history surrounding that.
That was amazing. But any case, it is going to be time for us to be signing off now. I want to remind everybody out there of the Deep South Para Comic Con. It's coming up again, you guys. We're in January. This thing is coming up in August 8th and 9th. And, you know, we always look forward to that
Every year.
every year. And we're having some repeat guests coming back. I mean, James Stokes is coming back.
I don't know who we got for this one. I haven't spoken to anybody.
No, it is. It's James Stokes.
No, I'm saying so. I'm finding out now.
Oh yeah, Keith Age.
Hmm,
Keith Age is coming back. Um, let me see, who is it? Oh, Lee Triana Terry Brown. Of course, she's going to be back with Matt Brown. Um, Blaine. I think Blaine's going to be there. Blaine, if you're still there, aren't you coming? Um, help me out here. Who else is? Oh, Brett Wagner. Brett Wagner's
that's
going to be.
cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Brett's going to be back. And gosh, I'm sitting here thinking. I mean, it's just going to be so much fun.
Every year it is.
It
Every year it's a
is.
blast.
So, I'll keep you guys appraised of what's going on and who else is coming because things. Oh, the it's a group called the Medieval Knights, and they do medieval fighting and stuff. And they're going to be doing D&D games, and they're going to be doing D&D cosplay.
Hmm, that'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be a blast.
Wonder how many Vecnas are going to be there.
I don't
Jesus.
know. We only need one, but yeah. So they're going to be there, and there's going to be that whole thing going on with them, and then they're going to be at the Medieval Faith Fest. So and they're going to be, of course, the medieval knights at the Medieval Faith Fest, and they do the full armor fighting, and that's what they're going to be doing at the con, the Deep South Para Comic Con. They're going to be doing a lot of arm to arm combat there as well. So they're fascinating. They really are. They're a lot of fun, and they're very accurate. So we're going to be doing that again this year, and inviting everybody to put that on your calendar if you can possibly make it. Please do come. Um, but thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And like we say at the end of every show, this is a think tank. It's meant to make you think about it. And we definitely want to hear your opinions, like with Vera. And, Vera's always got really cool things that she makes us think. And but we like that. And we like having the feedback. What are those sites to look up?
We'll message you over. We'll send it over to her.
You'll send it on
Hmm.
over.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so Vera, he'll send those sites for you to look up.
Send it on the messenger.
Okay. And and we'll do that for everybody. Whoever wants to have any information, just ask us, and if we don't know it, we'll look it up for you and we'll send it over to you so we can all learn from it. But we really want to do that. So anyway, next Tuesday, 7 Central Time, come on back and we'll have another think tank.
Yeah, we'll do dark matter. We'll do the subject I wanted to do.
Next week, Dark Matter, Devin and Debbie, and we'll see what you guys think about it. Really interested to see what you guys think about it. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye bye.